Hello, everyone. Podcast listeners, What's the Buttons fanatics, and general gaming people.
Wow.
Hello.
Hello.
What a jam-packed week it's been in between our last episode and then this episode. Recording a bit later because of unforeseen stuff. However, what it has afforded us is in the interim between, there has been the PlayStation State of Play, Summer Game Fest, the Xbox Showcase, and Ubisoft Forward yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And we spoke a bit about State of Play, and it was, I mean, my own opinion is I thought it was a bit shit this year. So I don't really want to bother talking about it.
I think you and Ash did talk about it.
We did, yeah. Xbox Showcase we spoke about on the Patreon, because I'm not massively versed in the world of Xbox, Microsoft, so there was a lot of nostalgic games being announced that I just I can't resonate with because I've never played them, like Gears of War and things like that, so it's very difficult for me to have that much to say. However, Ubisoft Forward, which we both watched, that went on for about 4 hours.
Did it really?
No, but it felt like it.
Oh, I think
it was like 2 hours or so.
One.
I know the Xbox One, was about 2 hours, wasn't it?
God,
around that.
They didn't know when to jack it in.
It's a long old time.
Yeah.
But the Ubisoft one, very, 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 very interesting. It was actually Ash that, because I knew that it was happening, but it was Ash that reminded me. He was like, "Are you fucking watching it?" And obviously they opened up with their big hitter, which was Star Wars Outlaws, and then followed it up with Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah.
And both of those games look fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So for the next 45 to an hour, I reckon we can fill the void with that.
You reckon?
I reckon.
I admire your confidence.
I reckon we're capable of it.
Okay.
So which one do we go with first?
Up to you.
Let's go with Shadows.
Okay.
Let's go with Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I know.
Oh, didn't that look good?
Mm.
Oh my god.
I know. And I can't... Well, speechless. There were so many cool elements.
It looks so cool.
Even something as simple as, and I really remember him from Nightfire, the James Bond PS2 game. There was like a section where you were in a sort of like Asian area. I can't remember where he was. But that's what it really reminds me of, seeing those, they've got like papery doors.
Yeah.
And yeah, in the sort of, it was almost like sort of extended gameplay, wasn't it, as opposed to sort of a trailer.
Yeah, pretty much the entire thing was gameplay.
And just like the way that they've integrated using the light and the environment to, you see their shadow and stab through paper door.
It's so impressive.
It's incredible. Or like even something as simple as she's there and she goes, "He's coming, I need to hide." And I think I literally said, "Wait, what the fuck?" like out loud, because I just thought, "Where are you going to go?" And she just shoots to the ceiling.
Yeah.
Which there's just an element of realism. Not that it's not been there, but I feel like they've done it really fucking well.
Yeah, this looks, the Shadows specifically, in that. So what we saw was Naoe,
something like that
is her name, I think. And she's that assassin type rogue,
sort of stealth.
Yeah. And basically there was a part in the gameplay where she's hiding behind a typical like crates made into a wall type shit, and then there's an enemy in front of her, and next to the enemy, like up to their left, is a lantern, which is obviously illuminating the area, but there are quite a lot of shadows. This is the middle of the night, so a lantern's only going to fucking light up so much. And she basically shoots that down, and then what happens is it doesn't make everything go completely black, but obviously it gets rid of that illumination. And then the guy that was talking over while it was playing explained that this doesn't make her invisible, however, it increases the enemy's reaction times and allows you to get close enough to assassinate. And that's exactly what she did. And I thought, that looks so cool.
Yeah.
Because even then, like, she skulked in the shadow, like, because there was different depths of shadow. in the scene, and she was right in the darkest depths of those shadows, and then just lunged out and fucking done him over. And then I think it was after that she had that that ranged assassination where she has that
that
almost
spinny,
that flail
like
thing. I can't remember what it's called. Basically like I think it's a spiked ball, like a flail,
like
but
that,
not,
yeah.
but on a much longer chain. That think of basically like the Chaos Blades, but with a fucking spike ball instead. And yeah, she like wrapped it around someone and pulled herself towards him and then fucking assassinated him. I was like, that's perfect. And the parkour looked fucking really seamless, really good. And then it was just so cool because when they announced it, they were talking about how they have worked very, very hard to make the scenery and everything around you destructible to a respect.
Yeah.
And they said in that it'll be like your katana would slice through boxes of papers and things like that. It would cause damage with what you're doing, and they obviously showed that where when there's multiple enemies and she's spinning around with a flail thing, obviously she cuts through the bamboo in doing that, and it did cut through the bamboo. Admittedly, it just phased out after a second because fair enough.
Yeah.
But I thought that's such a cool added depth to the scene that you wouldn't need to add, but it makes it so much better as well because it gives it that little bit. Because you do think that when you're swinging a weapon around, or if you ever like swing an axe into a wall and it just a spark comes off and you just go ching, and then that's it. I was like, well, that's not real, is it? Like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm quite interested to see how it plays out with. Obviously, they mentioned about how the environment will change with the time of day, with the time of year,
seasons and shit.
Yeah, he said how it will basically be like an area you visit in the winter and it will be too cold to swim, but you might go back there, you know, in a different time, and you're able to access places that you previously couldn't. Or he used the example that, like, you know, the rain and the muggy weather, you can hide easy, and that I think is, again, it's like that fine line that you draw with realism in a game. Whereas take something like, I know, you know, Red Dead Redemption 2, and it bothered you about how much you have to keep him warm, keep him fed, you know, energy and stuff. And whilst a lot of people, you know, they said, oh no, it gets better once you reach a certain level, you don't have to worry about that. But let's say that as that's something that bothers you, it's like this is that alternate way of doing that where you might not have to worry about that. But there are times when you know, when you think of playing a game and you're running in the snow, and yet they're not even affected by it, or it doesn't matter that they just dive into freezing cold water and then crack on like it wouldn't be, you know, hypothermia setting in. Yeah. So that I think is really, really clever. I'm excited to see how that kind of actually feels to play, if it is a frustrating element or if it does lean into like quite a fun way of doing it. Yeah,
I'd like to see how they transition from season to season.
Yeah.
Is it a case of I go to sleep one night and it's like spring, and then I wake up in the morning and it's changed around to full blown fucking summer? Like how are we going to? Is that something that's going to progress through the story? Which I don't know. Is that going to be where it's like say you let's split it into chapters for argument's sake, and you've got first 3 chapters you're in winter, and then the next 2 chapters it rolls round to spring.
Yeah.
And then like is there a story progression in that, or is it just a in-game time sensitive thing?
What would be cool, could you imagine if it was, I know they don't really do the sort of in and out of the Animus anymore, but imagine if it was a way where you could choose, so you could visit that area in that time. In a way, because you could imagine, say you start off in the summer and then you miss it, or rather start off in the winter, I don't know, whatever, and there's an area you can't access because of something to do with the weather. It would kind of suck if you were then locked out of that because you've then progressed beyond that season.
It's an interesting one to see how they, because season changes aren't a new thing at all in any game, but in this,
I feel like for Assassin's Creed it is.
For this it is, they've, and the fact that it has an actual effect on the environment is very new. So it's intriguing to see how they go with that. Also, the art style of, I kept saying it, of when they kill a boss or something and it goes all black and white. There is a name for it. I can't remember what the art style is called. But yeah, basically when you kill a head honcho or something like that, it goes like this Japanese style manga colorway on the screen and looks fucking phenomenal. Yeah. It looks so cool. And the combat looked really good. It all looked fantastic.
You seem dubious about the health bars.
At first, yeah, because at first, the first bit of combat you see, a health bar pops up above the enemy. And I was like, this is like, for me, I feel like that takes away a little bit from those types of games in that I don't want to see a health bar. What,
do you find it like immersion-wise?
Yeah, it ruins the immersion of it. Not that I find something like Assassin's Creed is massively immersive, but I feel like it's a thing that you don't necessarily need, because with health bars, to me, that means that there's going to be stats involved, and then there's going to be gear involved, and then there's going to be weapon damage, and things like that are going to start creeping in. So yeah, when I saw the health bar flash up, I was like, it's not really what I'm interested in. However, once the combat kicked off, I was like, nope, forget it. Like, you're fine, you're cool, you can keep your health bar. Because the combat just looked so fun, so much fun. The geezer pulled out a katana and lifted someone up with it, and then just threw him away like it was nothing, and then went into a boss fight. I was like, that is so cool. I was like, that's perfect.
That's what I want to know as well, is I couldn't really catch it because it was towards the end where we'd sort of like not stopped listening, but we knew it was sort of coming to the end. So I wasn't quite clear on if it's going to be you can flick between, sort of like Syndicate, where you can, you flick between Jacob and Evie as much as you like, or if there will be a point where you choose who you are.
Well, from what they showed us was, because what is his actual name? So you got,
maybe you have to remind me.
So I think you got Nailway,
because I feel like they're quite different. This isn't a case of basically pick if you want to be a male or a female. They do seem like they're completely different sort of skill sets, storylines, just whole different setups and like ways of approaching combat. He is by default not as stealthy as she is.
No.
And it's almost like that.
Yasuki and Naoe.
Yeah.
Naoe and Yasuki is a...
Because they do know each other, don't they? They sort of interact with each other at points.
Yeah, and Yasuki is he's a samurai.
Yeah.
And he is that typical heavy armoured tank sort of berserker role. Yeah. And then Naoe is very much not that.
Yeah. Well, stealth and sort of like that agile kind of vibes. I would quite like it if it is a setup where you can just flip between both as to what your sort of like needs are, in the sense of, if you're presented with a mission where you've got to get in and out and not be seen, well, now is the clear option. If it's somewhere where you've got to, fucking just nuke them all, then, what's his name? Yasuki. Like, he would be your choice.
Because it gives you that option from what we saw.
Yeah, but is it permanent? Is what I'm saying. Is it you choose this? Because like Valhalla, you choose who you are, and that's that. And I believe it's the same for Odyssey. Whereas something like Syndicate, one would just sit on the train, and then you'd switch as and when you liked. You could skill up, and like at one point, I was way more skilled in one than I was in the other, just because I'd used them more.
Wonder if it says anything in this article about it.
This is what I couldn't catch, because I think he did say something about making a choice, but I didn't catch whether it would be like you play it. Like, if you imagine you could play the first quarter as one, the second quarter as another, and the last half you choose. Yeah. Something like that. I feel like would be kind of cool, so you get more of a feel of who you actually want to be, and not just picking on sort of like face value or like seeing, reading the book and its cover, but to actually be able to experience the gameplay as both of the characters.
Yeah, I'm trying to read to see if
either throughout the whole thing or having to choose. I don't know.
I feel like you can't. They seem like very prominent characters with a very like rich and in-depth story. So you can't. I say you can't, but they did it on Syndicate pretty well in that both of Jacob and Evie had very good stories as characters in their own right. And like you say, all it would be is if you were playing fucking Jacob, Evie was on the train, or vice versa. They weren't doing anything.
You played as his bloody granddaughter at one point, didn't you?
Yeah.
You could go into...
So, and their stories were still very good. So I was going to say, like, you can't just have where you're playing one solid character and that's it.
But then you kind of, if you'd have wanted to play just as one or the other in Syndicate, I'm pretty sure you could.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was too many where it was like dedicated singular missions for that person. There were some, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they were more to the start of the game where it was almost sort of introducing you to these people and, you know, almost forcing you to at least play a little bit of it to get that feel.
Well, there's nothing here that says that whether it's confirmed or not what the situation
I can imagine
is.
It'd be a flicking of both.
I would like it to... I would almost like it to be where you can flick between the two during a combat situation.
Really?
I feel like that would be quite cool.
What, kind of like a dual control?
Yeah, in that, so if you're doing a mission or something like that, you choose the way that you want to do it. You want to go over Yusuke, then you want to fucking storm the gates and go in fucking all guns blazing. You pick Naoe and you want to do it stealth, you want to do it quietly. But it'd be nice if when you're just out and about on an interaction, if you're fighting whoever, say I'm fighting as Yusuke, and there's a button or something that allows me to switch and essentially call in Naoe. So now I'm playing her. Should say like I'm on the ground like with my cudgel fucking smacking the shit out of people. Then I swap and then there's Naoe. I've swapped to her. I'm now on a roof, but Yusuke continues to attack as AI essentially, and then I can join the fray.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I don't really know how they would work that, nor if that would work at all, because if you're going into a mission and you're being made to choose between the two, that kind of defeats the whole point of being able to freely swap between the two in that respect. But it would be quite cool to see something like that. That makes sense.
You should text them.
Drop
them a line.
Go,
yeah.
Hey, I've got a good idea for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, very intrigued to see how they play, because I feel like I would play both of them.
Yeah.
50-50. Because it just seems so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely got me hyped up for it.
Mm.
Like I said to Ash, I feel like where Mirage had its downfall was that the bones of it were very good, but the actual finished product of it was quite shit. However, I feel like it was testing the waters to see this new hybrid evolution of what Assassin's Creed can be and will be, in that you have everything up until Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla. I feel like though they're separate, like 2 Revelations, fucking Brotherhood, they're completely different to Origins, Valhalla and all that shit. However, I feel like Mirage was almost like a tester of, let's see what we can do if we put those 2 genres basically together. Not genres, concepts together, and then build upon that. Because Mirage wasn't bad, it wasn't great. But it was a breath of fresh air. If the game was longer than like 20 hours, then it would have been really shit. Because fuck me, was it getting a bit tedious. However, you could see the direction they were going in, and I remember saying when it first came out, and then when I finished it, saying that they can either go one of 2 directions, either go back to more of how they used to be, or continue in their new direction. And it's nice to see that from that gameplay that we saw of Assassin's Creed Shadows, it just looks like an amalgamation of the both.
Yeah.
Because it just looked so good. So good. Arguably, from what I saw there, it looked like it could potentially be better than the likes of Ghost of Tsushima. Because obviously that's what it gets compared to. You go Assassin's Creed Shadows, as much as everyone that likes Assassin's Creed has been begging for a setting in Japan, ever since it got announced, all people have done is fucking whinge about it. why are you doing that when you got Ghost of Tsushima? Because everyone whinges, don't they? It's not going to be as good as Ghost of Tsushima. But obviously, you're off the back of Mirage, so of course you're going to be a bit sour. And it's just nice to see that they're creating their own thing here. They're not copying Ghost of Tsushima. And yeah, from what I saw, it looks very, very good. I'm just hoping that they don't fuck it. But Assassin's Creed is one of Ubisoft's biggest IPs. So, please, for the love of God, just continue what we saw in that half an hour or whatever. Continue doing that.
Yeah.
Because it was very good. Very, very spot on.
It was indeed.
And that is Assassin's Creed Shadows. If you haven't seen the gameplay of it, I implore everyone
go hype yourself up
to go and have a look at it, because it was very, very, very good. The only downside to it is that there weren't the typical Assassin's Creed theme music. Where they're like, that didn't make an appearance.
I feel like I heard the little bird call though when she was stood on something high.
Yeah, the little bird call was there, but the wasn't there. So yeah, that's that. Outlaws. Spicy. Looked good.
Looked fucking incredible.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah.
Did you see all of it?
I was next to you.
I know, but you were flicking on your phone. I don't know if you missed bits.
Oh, well, I was very, very deeply invested in Monopoly Go. I needed to put shields on my landmarks. Okay. I was constantly under threat.
Fair enough.
And I had the little Martian treasure things was ending in 5 minutes, and I did not have 5 minutes to give because I knew you wouldn't pause it, nor would I ask you to. So I had to dual wield.
Yep.
And get enough of the little rocket things to do it. Okay, and I did, so we're fine. But yes, what I saw of it looked fucking amazing. Looked genuinely cool.
Graphics look incredible.
Yeah. And I don't know. I've not played any Star Wars games. So I can't really necessarily compare anything. So I'm just kind of basically excited. I mean, it's difficult because I think same with Assassin's Creed. I don't really know at what point I will play it, because I feel like lately with, like, say, Mirage, I didn't play it because then you played it and you played it so fast and then gave me a review. I was like, oh, okay, that's it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's odd. I feel like, I don't know. I would like to play it, kind of like how we did Hogwarts Legacy, where we did just both play it. We just took turns and sort of shared it.
Well, we can do that. We can do that with Shadows.
We'll see.
I'll just be miles ahead of you.
Well, I mean, I finished Hogwarts Legacy before you did, didn't I? Oh, no. No, but I did put about 15 more hours in. Excuse me.
Are you mental?
No, because you fucking rushed it.
No.
No. I put in. No, we're not having a big argument now. I put in more hours than you. That's what I said. I didn't finish it first, but I did put more.
And it also took you like 6 months longer.
It definitely didn't.
Also, I got the house cloak way before you did, and all. So let's not say I did more than you did.
What?
You didn't? What do you mean?
I did more than you did. I did do more than you did.
Yeah, but you played more than I did.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it was.
Oh my god, I misspoke, man.
Yeah, but it was a long time.
It wasn't
when
a long time.
I completed it until you completed it.
It definitely wasn't.
I think you'll find it was.
Well, excuse me for not rinsing the game the second it comes out. Just taking my time and actually enjoying it.
No,
let's not start criticising playstyles.
No, because I was playing it and then you were getting jealous.
No, that's the complete opposite, mate. You saw that I was ahead of you and then went fucking full steam ahead and rushed through it to be first.
I didn't rush through it to be first.
Right, for the record, for benefit of the tape, he is laughing in a knowing way because he knows exactly what he did. If this was recorded right now on camera, you would see him remembering that is exactly what he did, because I was ahead, you couldn't hack it, so you fucking logged in when I couldn't, and you rinsed that motherfucker. Case closed. Anyway, so back to Star Wars. Go.
So I like the look of it. I think it's very interesting. I sit in the same boat with you where...
Same boat as long as you're first, yeah.
I sit at the front of the same boat with you. Yeah. That I've never really played any Star Wars games. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I don't pretend to be a Star Wars fan. That's no hatred towards Star Wars, but it's never grabbed me in any way, shape, or form. I'm not interested by it. I've tried to be, but my heart is with Lord of the Rings. What can I say? I feel like you either sit in one or two camps. You can mingle between, but ultimately you have a home. And you're either in Star Wars camp or you're in Lord of the Rings camp. I'm firmly in Lord of the Rings camp. It just is what it is. But I can appreciate Star Wars in all its entirety and its glory. But yeah, I've just never been massively interested in playing it like Jedi Survivor and things like that. They just don't, and I know they're very good, and I'm sure that if I did play them, I would really enjoy them. But I've tried and I can't be bothered.
Fair enough.
And I just don't know why. Like, the map pissed me off. I don't like how the way the map and the mini-map is set up is like some weird tiered bullshit like fucking Zelda, and I hated it because you can't work out where the fuck you're going. It's horrible. It's enough to put me off. It's shit, innit?
What do you mean, like Zelda? More like Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah. Is that the one where you pop up the map and it's not just here's a fucking A4 sheet of paper with the map on it. It's here's a 3D render of the fucking area that you're in and the levels of what you're fucking in and where shit is.
Oh, when you're in a dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, normally it's flat.
Yeah, normally it's flat. Normally. Not on fucking Jedi Suck My Arse. That shit, fuck.
It's all coming out now.
Fuck me. It's so ridiculous. Don't do a map like that. It's so shit. I don't need that. Just give me a little mini map. That's fine. We don't need to go in depth with fucking mini maps. However, Star Wars Outlaws just looks so intriguing. I feel like for me, it's because it's a completely different character. I feel like that's my enticement to it.
Okay.
Which I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm trying to say. I'm interested by the character because I know nothing about the character.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. It's something new and refreshing, and the dynamic that we're seeing and how she's being portrayed. What I don't even know her name. What's her?
Kay Vess, I think.
Kay Vess.
Yeah.
She might be an actual character. Like I say, I know nothing about the Star Wars world, so forgive me if she is an actual character. I fuck knows. However, her and is it Nyx?
I think so. Yeah.
Is the little fucking lizard dog thing that runs around? Fantastic.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyable. I like it. I mean, I'm intrigued to see what her story is like, and just how the game plays out. Even the ship combat looked really fucking cool.
Oh, well, I quite like the look of the bike as well.
Yeah, the bike looks cool. The hover bike thing.
You know, like, what's the... Oh, fuck me. What's the game with Deacon?
What? Days Gone?
Days Gone, yeah. And you know how you could, like, do stuff to your bike?
Yeah.
Like, I really liked that element of it.
Mm.
And I kind of hope it's like that. Like, you know, you're going to be able to, like, get parts and upgrade it and, like, it will take damage and you have to fix it. And, like, I wonder if you'll have to fuel it. Like, little things like that. You know, where you have to sort of be careful where you're going because, you know, you've got to think about your transport and stuff. Kind of like Days Gone was.
Yeah, having some kind of realism on that.
Yeah. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
And just think, like, scenery and stuff. Like, I had a friend who would never fast travel on Skyrim because he just wanted to, like, take in all the views.
See everything, yeah.
And he would, like, genuinely, like, walk the horse.
Mm.
Which at the time I never really appreciated because, you know, my attention span was that of, you know, I'm fucking fast travelling right now. Mainly because I used to get really fucking confused with the way that, speaking of mini maps and shit, the, like, little directional thing, you're talking back in 2011, used to really fucking confuse me, and I'd be like halfway up a mountain.
What, the compass?
Yeah, that's it. When it wanted me to go round, I was just like, you know what I mean? I was like 14. It was a whole thing.
Fair play.
But now I can kind of like appreciate that. Like, it's shaping up to be such a aesthetically like beautiful game.
Yeah.
And I just want to be like riding my little bike.
And the factions as well. The factions seem cool. The fact that you can like double cross like Jabba the Hutt and shit like that.
And like how they were talking yesterday with like how much fun they have had genuinely like recreating all of the places, and you know that you can tell that these are genuine fans and like lovers of the series that have made it. I'm just excited to see how that's all gonna, you know, to be able to like walk around it. Even as, I mean, I probably like Star Wars more than you, but again, I'm not like this mega fan. but just appreciating like all of the hard work that's gone into it. I really fucking hope it's not shit. But like, you know what I mean? I do think it's going to be a good one.
You can tell a lot of love and attention has gone into it from the gameplay that we see. But it is Ubisoft. We have to bear that in mind. It is Ubisoft and it is Star Wars. So just where they can rinse the money, they will probably try and rinse the money.
You reckon?
Well, that's what happens. That Star Wars fans will buy anything.
Well, they have a subscription, don't they, Ubisoft?
Of course they do.
Yeah.
They will
but then that was around, you know, it's been around for a long time. And I always found it to just be like, yeah, you might get like cosmetics or like a slightly better weapon earlier on in the game or something. But my experience of it isn't
battle passes and shit like that, which I think are already in Outlaws or something similar, season pass. Anything, put a price tag on any of it, someone's going to buy it. You know what I mean? You can get a lump of shit and put a lightsaber in it and just label it Star Wars poo with a price tag. Someone's going to buy it.
Will they?
Yes. I promise you now. I would.
Yeah, but have you ever found that Ubisoft's like paid shit is that limited? I haven't found it so. It's not going to be that. It's not like it's going to be a.
Well, it killed Battlefront.
Kind of different game though. No?
They had the world in their hands. The FPS world for Star Wars was in their hands, and they fucking crushed it. They fucked it with loot boxes and weird shit that no one wanted, and they got their money and then they dipped out. Ruined it. They had the potential there, and that's where people get slightly concerned, because that's where little microtransactions and little things that you don't need to, like with the there's a Jabba the Hutt storyline or some shit where I believe there's a storyline in the base game anyway, because how could there not be? But I think there was like an additional quest or some shit where you only get it if you buy a certain edition or if you buy something extra from the game, and people were kicking off because they're like, I'm already paying for the game. He's already there. Don't fucking start locking shit. But multiple games do that. Hogwarts Legacy, for example, with their shitty arena and the fucking PlayStation quest that 6 years later everyone's got access to now, and blah blah blah.
Oh,
what?
You're seeming quite angry.
No, I'm not angry.
But then
I just think it's fucking cheap to go for the effort of making a quest and then locking it behind 10 quid. Fuck the 10 quid off. You don't need it. You're charging me 70 quid for a game. Give me everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Give me everything, please. If you want me to pay for DLC, that's fine. You come up with the DLC. If there's additional quest lines in there, that's fine because they're additional. But if you've made an entire game and then have content that you've made on that with that game alongside it for this game, and then you've gone, we'll lock that behind even more money.
But then what I don't get with the whole, you know, like taking Hogwarts Legacy and the Haunted Hogsmeade quest, for example.
It was a very good quest as well.
It was very good, but you know, I start to get the impression now, having it's now been released to everybody,
I want my money back.
Well, no, I think it was more the case of they managed to get it to work on PS5. So they were like, right, what can we do? I know. We'll make it a PlayStation exclusive until we can figure out how the fuck we can make it work on all the other consoles, and then we'll drop it as a DLC. Yeah. Like, that's what that's smelling like. They did that, and they were like, look, all of our developers want to kill themselves. I never thought of it
like that.
Yeah, we're on the fucking edge here, so let's just crack it out as an exclusive, make them all feel special, and then when we've finally figured it out at our leisure, because no one knows it's coming, we'll release it as a DLC. No one will moan, because at the end of the day, everyone on PlayStation's played it.
And it's free.
They've been and done, and everyone else will go, oh, lovely, how exciting, oh, you love me. I reckon that's what's happened. They just couldn't crack it out until now.
But who's getting excited over that?
If someone hasn't been able to play it. No, I do think it was very, very poorly timed. In fact...
Poorly timed? What is it? A fucking year?
Yeah. But do you not think, though, I think I said this the other week.
We'll get it on Nintendo Switch in 5 years.
It's already on Nintendo Switch. What?
That was just a dig at Nintendo Switch.
Oh, you're odd. I've got my fucking point now.
No, think of it.
Well, I fucking can't. I can't. Oh, that was it. Is it that sort of thing where like IGN and the likes have taken what is essentially a small like update and been like, new content on Hogwarts Legacy?
That's exactly what it is.
Like, you know, like shit like Lab Bible. They're cracking out stories from like 15 years ago
they're
now.
Fucking.
They actually
clickbait to cunt.
They posted about Series 9 of Suits. Are you? Who's excited for Series 9 of Suits? What? It came out like literally 2 years ago. It's just new on Netflix. But they made out like there was some big new season. And I mean, we stopped watching like season 7, didn't we? Upon exit of Patrick Adams and Meghan Markle. But
spoilers.
Oh, everyone fucking knows she goes. Come on. You don't know how or what, why. Well, we all know why, but anyway. Yeah. And it's like, stop. Everyone knows that they're recycling, but no one's unfollowing. I've not unfollowed, even though literally it'll be like, baboon eats 60-year-old woman. And it happened in 2007. And they're acting like it was yesterday. Mm-hmm. You know?
It's all clickbait bollocks, isn't it?
I know, and we just fall for it every time.
So maybe that is the spin that it was put on.
No one answered my question on the Patreon as yet. Because I noticed yesterday when it came out and it said 2026, man was fuming. You were fuming, weren't you? Because it's exactly the reason that I said, don't dangle shit in front of me.
I was
fuming.
And
that Prince of Persia thing was announced back in 2020. So that's going to be 6 years later.
I was fuming.
Wouldn't you rather not know and then drop it 6 months before?
People that are listening on the Patreon episode, we asked the question of, would you prefer... Because a lot of stuff that was happening on like the Xbox showcase was coming 2025.
Or no date at all.
Yeah, or nothing. And the question that we asked was, would you rather have absolutely zero info on a game and then get given the info, given the announcement trailer and everything, and then the release date be within 6 months
or a year
of when you see that? Or would you rather know of the game, see an announcement trailer and know that it's in existence, but then have to wait multiple years for a release date? Would you rather know a game exists and that it's being developed but have to wait years for it to come out, or know absolutely nothing about a game until 6 months before it comes out and then everything drops?
Yeah. Or 6 months to a year. Like I can deal with, so say a trailer drops now and it says June 25 or fall 25, whatever. Something that's a bit more sort of like tangible, because I feel like where we're at now, like take Prince of Persia for example. So we were like early pandemic and they were like, oh, by the way, we're working on a Prince of Persia. And everyone was like, oh my God, that's going to like power me through COVID. And then here we still are, still doesn't exist. And now it's been 2026. And you were fuming about 2026.
Fuming about 2026?
Yeah.
But
see now, blissful ignorance, my friend.
I know, because I have a very, very good affinity with Prince of Persia. They're the first games that I ever properly played. That and Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
And Prince of Persia Sands of Time, I have some...
Imagine waiting what time and it is literally just a remaster.
It will be.
Why is it taking that long?
A remaster
How
or
does it
a
take
remake?
You 6 years?
It can't be any part of the story. You can't have the Sands of Time as the first Prince of Persia and then have another Sands of Time alongside that.
No.
It doesn't work. I'd love there to be a new one. Stop the fucking side-scrolling, comic-looking bullshit that Prince of Persia... Why are we doing this? Who's asking for that? Oh, our third side-scroller of Prince of Persia. No one wants it. No one wanted the shitty fucking... what's it called? Like, Shadow Cell... Whatever
the one that's in there.
Yeah, the one that's in there. Whatever that fucking art style is, no one wanted that. It was shit. There was no gore. Everything was just black. It sucked. Fuck that off, right? And then you come out with side-scrollers and platformers. No one wants that. No one wants that.
No, that's not true.
Someone wants it because it's there.
Quite a lot of people would want that.
Majority of people that have played Prince of Persia do not want that. We want more Prince of Persia. I want the old Prince of Persia, Sands of Time, fucking Two Thrones. You know what I mean? Like Assassin's Creed, basically, because that's what happened. Prince of Persia got dropped and then Assassin's Creed become fucking massive and they focused on that instead. Fair enough. If you've got Assassin's Creed in the mix, I can see why you're not rolling more with Prince of Persia because you've already got it cemented with Assassin's Creed. I get it. However, we want a Prince of Persia. I want a decent one. If it is a remake or a remaster, I'll go for it. That's fine. But I do want another iteration to the story. Because Sands of Time, I had very, very fond memories as a kid playing that. And one specifically where there was some bullshit fucking maze puzzle thing where you're in like some weird Colosseum thing with like 20 doors and you have to run through them in a certain order, and fucked if I could do it. So my mum did it instead. And she made me spaghetti bolognese and I fell asleep next to her and then woke up and she'd basically set out a diagram of Lego to figure out what doors she was going in and shit. And she worked it out and we completed that game together. And I had nice memories from that. And then I played every single Prince of Persia that rolled on since. And yeah, I would just like to see that again. But 2026 is a long old time. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
That's a long time. Especially when all you gave us was a fucking...
Literally, it was like Prince of Persia Sands of Time. Thanks.
Yeah. And here's a sand timer.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what is that?
Crumbs. That's what that is. Crumbs.
Too many crumbs.
Yeah.
Not enough crumbs. Give me a slice. The crumbs have come from a loaf. That means the loaf exists.
Well,
for there to be crumbs, there has to be a loaf.
The Patreon,
so therefore,
the Patreon listeners will be getting a little treat here, won't
so
they?
therefore, if there's a loaf, give us a slice.
This is called backtracking.
I know. I'm
tasting the crumbs.
Famous for it on this podcast. Speak before you think.
I would love to get some sort of system that can trawl through how many times that you or Ash have gone, this is going to be my game of the year. This is going to be my fucking game of the fucking year. This is going to be the actual thing. And then literally like, no, I fucking hate it. I hate it.
I think Assassin's Creed Shadows might be my game of the year.
You heard it here, folks.
From what I see, it might be my game of the year, but also
it might be shit.
That's contesting with Shadow of the Erd Tree, which comes out this month.
Yeah.
Can't actually remember when that comes out.
You got to rush and finish Plague Tale, haven't you? Because you've dropped your PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, my PlayStation Plus, I cancelled it because
R.I.P.
I thought I can't be arsed with it. I don't use the PlayStation nearly as much as I do everything else.
But you got your Game Pass, haven't you?
What Game Pass?
You don't have Game Pass anymore either.
No.
Oh.
No, I got rid of all of them.
Oh,
I got rid of Game Pass ages ago. Steam, baby. I'm all about Steam. No, the annoying thing though is that obviously I lose access to my entire PlayStation Plus library.
Really?
Which is why I have to finish Plague Tale before the 27th.
Does it keep it if you resubscribe?
It keeps it. It just locks it.
Fuck off. What? So all of like your PS Plus, like the 2 ones you get each month and stuff like that,
Concrete
you won't be able
Genie.
to play it. To be fair, I'm too sad to play the end of that game anyway. I actually can't cope with it. Honestly.
Can I delete it then, please?
No.
It's taking up
no,
space.
No, my babies.
Do you want to know how big Call of Duty Black Ops 6? All right, we saw more of that on the Xbox showcase. Right, looks very good. 309 gigabytes.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
309 gigabytes.
And are you telling me that in the same showcase they marketed? They're like, oh yeah, we've got like a digital,
the digital only 1 terabyte. We're going to take a third of that for one game.
Shit,
309 gig. For what?
That's nuts.
What?
That is nuts.
How does Activision do it? How do they make their games so monumentally massive, but at the same time not?
Yeah.
It will be a 6 to 9 hour campaign with 5 PvP maps. So how are you making that 309 gig? I don't understand where that comes from.
If you used to be able to do it in like 80.
Where does that facilitate? Because you have people that are like, oh yeah, well the last one was 150, right?
That's no excuse.
Still too much, right? And then I saw someone else saying, current gens have been around long enough. You're telling me people haven't got multiple terabyte SSDs?
Oh.
What? I shouldn't have to change the SSD to accommodate one game or buy an external hard drive to accommodate the game.
No.
Like, what's the point? That's mental.
Yeah.
I've seen enough sources to say that it's over 300 gig.
My external hard drive on my Xbox 360 was an 8 gigabyte memory stick that
It's
I got
mental.
from college.
It's mental. Don't get me wrong.
So
I've got 2 external hard drives. One's a terabyte and one's 2 terabytes. I've got the facilities for it.
Oh ho ho.
But what I'm saying is,
Yeah, that's huge.
I need to look into it because I cannot, for the life of me, understand why these Call of Duty games are so massive. I don't get it. I really don't. To the point where, wasn't it like one of the previous CODs, you had to select which part of the game you wanted to download. Like you could have it so that you didn't download the campaign or you didn't download the multiplayer
Fair
or something like that to make it smaller.
I mean, that's kind of clever.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
How about you just make your games fucking smaller? Go through the effort of just making the files smaller.
Again, text them. You let them know.
But we can do this. That's a thing that can be done.
Yeah.
In an age of where everything's going digital, when Xbox were wanking themselves off going, we've released a digital-only Xbox. No one gives a fuck. But we've done it anyway. Why is one of your main blockbuster games that you're showboating on the showcase to the point where you had like an extended version for like 40 minutes after, wanking off to that, and then that's going to take up more than a third of your new digital fucking Xbox? Mental behaviour. It's mental. And then you'll go, you can only use certain fucking external hard drives for these.
Yeah, you have to format everything.
That external hard drive that I've got for the PlayStation, which is a PlayStation branded external hard drive, will not work with the PS5.
It's for the PS4 though, isn't it?
Yes.
Like,
You can put any game you want on it, but you cannot play games from that hard drive on the PS5.
That sucks.
Why?
Just to piss you off, I think.
Just to piss me off.
Yeah.
Because just like Apple, you have to have their specifically made fucking thing.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm not having this argument with you.
It's bollocks. 309 gig.
Yeah. You're still going to buy it though, aren't you?
No.
Oh, what, you're not now?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
What, it's ruined the entire thing for you,
I was never in the camp of I'm buying this.
What? You literally said that you were going to buy it.
Well, yeah, but ignore that.
What?
Very fickle. I was never in the...
It's lucky I'm still here, really.
My Call of Duty games...
I'm doing well.
The time has passed. However, it's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. I go, I'm going to get that. It doesn't actually mean you're going to get it, does it?
Yeah, sure.
I'm not going to buy it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'm definitely not going to buy it if it's over 300 gig.
Okay. Will Ash buy it?
Of course he will.
Oh, there you go then. So at least we'll hear about it.
Of course he'll buy it. Brandon's already pre-ordered it. You know what I mean? People love it. It looks very good.
So you're out on the basis of gigabytes?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm not buying a game that's going to take me 17 days to download.
You have?
Not enough.
What storage do you have on it?
The PS5, the first iteration of the PS5, which is what I have. Bearing in mind the PS4 Pro released with 1 terabyte, the PS5 released with 800 gig.
Ooh.
And the PlayStation system itself takes up about 100 gig of that.
Ooh.
So that's fantastic. So I've got about 3 games that I can play. So if I were to buy Call of Duty Black Ops 6 when that releases, that will take up half of my storage.
Yeah.
On one game.
You should get an external hard drive, really. Don't know what
I
you're
should
moaning about.
I should do really, and then just suffer the slower fucking loading screens because I've had to fucking plug in an external hard drive.
Yeah, that sucks.
Or I could do what everyone else is telling me to do, rip my PlayStation apart and spend 600 quid on an SSD. I'm not going to do that.
No.
I'm not going to do that. Sorry, I'm not doing it. I'm not spending 70 quid on a game that I can't play.
How long have you got to finish Plague Tale?
27th
of June. Oh, okay.
So it's the 11th now. So
Right.
I've got 16 days to do it.
Nice.
And I will do it because I'm very, very interested in the story.
Cool.
It's very good so far.
I must admit, I haven't followed it as closely this time.
No, and that's upsetting.
Well, something about it, I don't know.
You've missed. You're out of touch. You've missed it. Where Plague Tale, Innocence was obviously all about the rats.
Yep.
And Hugo and his fucking rats, right? This, however, is going much more into the dark and sinister. There's something afoot here, and I'm fine because obviously I saw the screenshot, didn't I?
Oh, of something gnarly.
Of something nasty and fucking horrific, and I'm slowly trying to work out exactly what happens there. and who it happens to, because I don't know.
Oh.
So it's very interesting. Plague Tale Requiem, Plague Tale Innocence, fantastic games. And yeah, let's just hope that the end of Requiem isn't some bullshit mission where the fucking difficulty curve goes through the roof and makes me want to put my head through the fucking telly.
That's got to be a slight glitch. Something was off there with like some sort of hitbox or something.
That was poor fucking game wizardry.
Yeah.
Developing. You got Reddit threads about it. That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah.
When you can jump on Reddit and everyone's going, "Yep, this bullshit made me nearly want to quit this game." That's the only that's the only criticism I've got of fucking Plague Tale Innocence.
Yeah, that one.
Is that last one of those last missions is gonna make you want to rip your fucking skull off. It sucked. I hated it. I was in such a foul mood after that.
Yep.
I was like, this game's so good. This game's so good. I fucking hate this game. This is shit.
It was a rough one.
It was rough because you're not even fighting a boss. It's not even like you're getting the satisfaction of like something like Elden Ring where you spent 6 hours fighting one boss and then you finally killed them.
Just trying to get through a fence.
I'm literally just trying to fucking walk next to a cart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe I'll pay a bit more attention to the latter half.
Please do.
Yeah.
Right. That wraps us up then, doesn't it?
All right. It's been a pleasure.
Nice. Thank you. Thanks for listening, everyone. Play the games that we recommend or don't.
Yeah.
Has no bearing on us. But continue to listen.
Oh, yeah. I think it has a bearing. I'm good. I'd like to know what people are doing.
Yes, please.
A nosy bitch, really.
Nosy.
Yeah.
Right. See you later then, everyone. Uru.
Uru.